America's Choice 2016 and the presidential race. Republican candidate Ted Cruz has won his party's primary in the state of Wyoming. But Donald Trump still leads in the national delegate count, and now the Republican frontrunner is focused on Tuesday's all-important primary in the state of New York. CNN's Ana Cabrera has this report for us.
The Cruz camp celebrating a big win here in Wyoming. They walked away with all the 14 delegates who were elected here at the state convention. That essentially met their expectations. Cruz was the only candidate who had an organized campaign presence in this state. They began recruiting grassroots volunteers and supporters as early as last fall. Trump saying he didn't want to waste resources in this state. In fact, saying that this weekend, and again, criticizing the delegate election process here. This is a state that elects its delegates to the national convention through state conventions and county conventions instead of an open primary. And I talked to one Trump supporter here who said, had it been the other way around and there had been a primary here, well, the results may have told a much different story.
If people could go to the polls and actually vote for their man. I never liked the idea of one person deciding, 1,500 people's votes. It just never rubs me right. It just always bothered me. One man, one vote.
Ted Cruz picking up more momentum after this weekend coming out of Wyoming, although Trump and Kasich, who were in New York campaigning this weekend, expect to turn the tides come Tuesday. Ana Cabrera, CNN, Casper, Wyoming.
And now to the Democratic side of things. Candidate Bernie Sanders says that he had an extraordinary meeting with Pope Francis, but he's not sharing what the Pope told him. On Saturday, Mr. Sanders arrived back in New York from Rome. The Democratic Socialist tells CNN he thanked the Pope for raising awareness about economic inequality. Sanders was at the Vatican for a conference and briefly met with Pope Francis before he flew to a migrant camp in Greece.
It was manners. It's called manners and not getting involved in politics. If anyone thinks that a greeting is getting involved in politics, then I recommend they look for a psychiatrist.
The Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton has repeatedly attacked Sanders on gun control. 20 years ago, the Vermont senator voted against a key law mandating federal background checks on gun sales. But now Sanders says he supports gun control reform. Still, on Saturday, Clinton slammed him again while campaigning in California.
I will continue to take on the gun lobby for common sense gun safety measures. This is one of the biggest differences between Senator Sanders and myself. And no matter how often he's asked by family members of those who have been murdered, he sticks to his talking points.